and Lex.
Two imperfect six-figure business coaches, co-founders, and friends who decided to combine our superpowers to bring to market something we wish we had when we entered the world of coaching.
A real, non-BS, intimate, and fun community built with integrity, intention, and a few glasses of wine.
In this podcast, we get real.
Real about life,
business,
relationships,
and what it really takes to find your version of success in the world of coaching. Are you ready, Lex?
I'm set, Em.
Let's coach.
Hello. It is Lexie. I am recording a mini-sode for you guys today. So hopefully you are okay with just hearing my voice for a few minutes, well, more than a few minutes today. So I wanted to record a mini-sode specifically talking to one of my unique areas of expertise. If you're a longtime listener, or if you listened to a couple of our first episodes, you might be aware of my background. But for new listeners, or as a quick refresher, I kind of want to share where I'm coming from or why I have authority to talk about what I'm about to talk about. So I have been in the world of PR and marketing for going on 13 years now. I started my career working in agencies. I was a senior account director for a PR firm. I then went in-house. I was the director of PR and marketing for a hospitality group. I then moved into the world of tech and telecom and became a vice president at the fastest growing telecom in America. So big pivot from hospitality into tech. But all this to say, these experiences led me up to launching my very first business, which is called the PR Bar Inc., which originally started as a PR coaching brand. It's now a PR coaching brand and agency. Through this launch into entrepreneurship is how I ended up meeting Emily. You know, the rest is history. We launched RSC. All this to say, I happen to know a thing or two about the world of PR. And today I wanted to hop on here and just share some very specific PR tips for coaches. So first off, what is PR? Well, if you really want to dive into what is PR, I have a whole PR podcast. It's called Pitchin' and Sippin'. You're more than welcome to hop on over and listen there. But high level, I want to talk about the press and media side of PR. That is just one arm of all that PR is. But again, I would get far beyond a mini-sode if I went into all the intricacies. But PR is establishing relationships and leveraging relationships to get your brand seen and heard. So from a perspective of coaching, we might utilize PR to spread brand awareness, right? To find more clients. So people come to us often in RSC, both in the sales process, in the discovery process, at our events, and in our cohort, asking all the time about what are the different ways or what should they be focusing on in terms of PR when it comes to coaching. So I'm going to streamline this today and give you one area I really suggest diving into, and that is thought leadership. Thought leadership, if that's a new word for you, basically means you're a leader of thoughts or you have innovative thoughts and you have become someone that's highly sought after in regards to your opinions or your expertise in an area. So, for example, Emily and I could be seen or viewed as thought leaders in coaching, or Emily could be seen as a thought leader in networking. I might be in PR if I toot my own horn. So, thought leadership is very well aligned to coaching because coaches, right, are supposed to be experts in their own field. So right away, what this means is this is going to put your activities or your tactics of what to focus on in PR in a very specific lane. So if you focus on thought leadership, you're going to be focusing a lot on platforms and opportunities that feature you as the expert. So this means going after writing an article for Forbes as opposed to being just featured in Forbes. So being featured in Forbes would mean someone else is writing about you or they're writing an article and they include you in it, which is also really great. However, if we look at PR, the strategy from a thought leadership perspective, when you're the one writing the article, then you're the expert. And that's what we want to be in coaching, right? We want to be the expert. So rather than spending time trying to get other people to write about you, highly encourage you focus your efforts on finding opportunities where you can be the expert, where you can write the article. Emily and I did this. An example, we call these bylines. We did a byline for Create and Cultivate. We wrote an article on 5 numbers that you need to know when launching a coaching business. So again, instead of pitching Create and Cultivate to write that article about us or including us, we pitch them to let us write it. And so when you go to that article, it's written by us, which is naturally positioning us as the experts on this authority, which is reinforcing the whole concept of coaching, right? This article has proved really, really beneficial for our business. It has brought us leads. People read the article, they see our name in the byline, they've clicked on our website, and they've booked sales calls with us. It's also a great tool that we leverage in our marketing. Hey, look, we're experts. We write for this given publication. So that's one category. If you want to talk about more traditional digital publications, I highly suggest you go after bylines. So finding opportunities where you are the author. Now, let's say you're not a writer. Like everything I just said terrifies you, or you hate it, or heck no, Lexie, that's realistically not going to happen. Fine. The other thing you can do is look for perhaps podcasts, right? So now we're flipping mediums of media. We just went from writing to podcasts where you're speaking. So if you're someone who is more comfortable speaking, then you can consider going after podcasts. Now there's 2 ways you can approach podcasts. 1, you can create your own, or 2, you can be a guest on other people's podcasts. My advice here, short term, start as being a guest. A lot less work, to be frank, and you're getting to speak on a podcast or a platform where other people have cultivated a community or an audience. So it's a quick way to be heard by people. So short term, I highly suggest guesting, being featured as a guest on other people's podcasts where you are the featured expert and you get to talk about something related to your line of coaching. Now, long term, it definitely is worth considering launching your own podcast where, again, you are the host and you are the thought leader, you are the expert. The reason I suggest that as a secondary approach is honestly, there's just a lot of work that goes into creating a podcast and it can take time to cultivate an audience. Bylines, we've talked about podcasts. The last area I want to encourage you to focus on in regards to your PR thought leadership strategy is speaking engagements. Specifically, where you are the speaker, you are the expert, you are the authority leading a workshop. Okay, so here would be an example. Emily and I frequently self-host and are asked to guest host or guest lead workshops for other communities. One of our signature topics is how to add a coaching revenue stream to your life. So Emily and I get to lead this workshop. We're providing people value. We're giving them a taste of what it's like to work with us. Again, all these things are naturally positioning us as the experts. So the whole concept here, again, when we talk about PR, is identifying or pursuing activities that allow us as a coach to be in the seat of authority, to be the leader, to be the teacher, right? Because when someone hires us, that's what they're hiring us for, to teach them, to guide them. They're hiring us for our unique expertise. So, just a few quick tips. PR is a topic that we definitely dive into in the Ready, Set, Coach program more in depth, but there's a little bit of a place for you guys to get started. If you have any questions or you want to workshop through PR ideas, feel free to slide into Em and I's DM. If you want to learn more about my whole backstory, again, I have a podcast called Pitchin' and Sippin', but also on one of the first episodes of this podcast, we dive into our backstories. So there's my mini-sode. I hope it was helpful. And next episode, don't worry, Emily will be back.
If you're enjoying the Ready, Set, Coach podcast, please leave a review wherever you are listening. For more information about Ready, Set, Coach, visit readysetcoachprogram.com.